Hey, what's up? This is Andrew from the Show Radio. Just wanted to share with you some lessons that I learned from the movie John Wick, which I saw this week. The first movie, I think that came out in 2014, and wanted to share with you some lessons that I learned from the film. So the first thing, I definitely want to just touch on the plot a little bit of the movie. You know, John Wick was like an ex-mercenary type guy, and he fell in love with a lady, and she became ill and she passed away. And before she passed away, she left him a gift. It was a dog. I believe the dog name was Sally. So in the movie you see John Wick, played by Keanu Reeves, reading the letter that his wife left him, you know, with Sally. And, you know, he got all emotional and stuff like that. So, okay, so that's kind of how the movie started, and you're kind of seeing, you know, different images of him and his wife and how they spend time together and all those different things. But as the movie plays on, you learn a couple of things about John Wick. Not at the very beginning, but as the movie progresses, you learn different things about the particular character. So what was interesting about it, you know, I guess, you know, from the first lesson that I learned is it's still as applicable today that you don't mess with somebody's car. You just don't do it, okay? So there's a particular scene in the movie where John Wick takes Sally, because he spent some time with Sally now, so now they're getting a bond. I believe the dog name is Sally. And he takes Sally to the gas station. Okay, so at the gas station, I believe, is where you're introduced to some of the members of the group that he used to be a part of, as far as the assassination you know, type mafia group that he was a part of, right? So he's at the gas station pumping gas, okay? And you should just like this video alone if I remember any of these cars, okay? So I think the first car was a 1969 Mach 1 Mustang. That was his car. Okay, so there's some subtle messages even in the movie, because his wife kind of lent to the fact that spend more time with Sally than you do with your car. I know you love your car, but spend more time with Sally the dog. Okay, so we're at the gas station. So these guys, the son of the head honcho of the ex-assassination group that he used to be a part of, approaches his car and wanted to buy the car. Okay, so he goes, kind of like, is this car for sale? And he goes, it's not for sale. He basically says, how much? And the guy, and John Wick says, it's not for sale. So what they end up doing, okay, never mess with somebody's car, ever. I don't care what car they have. They could have a 1968 Pinto. I don't even know if they made them in 68, okay? Don't ever mess with somebody's car. Just don't do it, okay? So what they end up doing is they go to John Wick's house, okay? They go to his house, they rough him up, okay? They kill the dog, and then they take the car. Okay, so I'm gonna pause right there, because one of the things that really struck me even in that whole sequence of just watching it play out is it brought me back to a particular situation that I had where I went to a particular restaurant in Wyandanch, New York. If you're ever in Long Island, check out the restaurant New Taste in Wyandanch, Haitian restaurant, good food, good stuff there. So it's like a storefront type thing. Jackie Chan is near that area, which is a Chinese restaurant. Larry's Barbershop is around there, and then it's right across the street from the Wyandanch Fire Department. Okay, so if you're ever in the area, that's where it is. Okay, so then I park the car, my car, okay, and then I go inside, get the food. I come back out, and somebody's sitting in my car. I'm like, I didn't even have anything to say. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? What are you doing? Okay, so lesson number one, don't mess with anybody's car. Okay, so lesson number two. Okay, so I told you about John getting roughed up, right? He got beat up. They killed the dog though, right? And then they took the car. So I was like, oh, wow. Okay, so even for me, dogs, I love them, but I don't want one. Okay, now this particular dog was special because it was connected to his wife who left them the dog. So now you go from killing the dog, not just any dog, because any dog you kill, period, is just not good, okay? But the wife, the dog that your wife left you, man. You go kill that dog, so that's a whole nother level of revenge, okay? So lesson number 2, don't mess with anybody's dogs or cats or pets or family members. Don't do it, okay? So for me, that really messed with me because when I was younger, I used to live in Haiti, and there was a particular dog in the family in Haiti where I just really enjoyed this particular dog. Always made me smile, you know, followed me around sometimes. But there was a particular day that the dog got hit by a car, okay? And I think I'm traumatized even today that every time I see a dog, I don't want the dog because my worst fear is that my dog will get hit by a car. So that's my thing. So I just wanted to share that with you. That's my thing. So now John Wick is back. Okay, so now he goes into, I guess it's a part of his house where, I don't know if it's a basement or a section of his house where he had buried all the weapons and all the things that he used to do back in the day. Now he's gonna go break that ground to go get the stuff out and then just go crazy on everybody, all right? So the movie moves on, you know, carries on, shows you different things, you know, all that later. But lesson number 3, okay, lesson number 3 is very important. Lesson number 1 and 2 is important, okay? Don't mess with the car. Don't mess with the dog or family members. Don't do that. Lesson number 3 was interesting because it was towards the end where I got lesson number 3, okay? So lesson number 3 deals with dealing with people. This is critical right here, okay? Very critical. Because there's a point where he's getting ready to go into like the club type environment and do like the gun katas, right? He's getting ready to go put in the work on everybody. Just put in the work on every single person in the place. And this is a controller, not an actual, okay. He's getting ready to go put in the work on everybody. But the very interesting part that I noticed even before he walked in, even before he crossed the street, right? Gauge the area, see what was around, and then he goes, you know, starts taking some people out. But when he gets to the security guard at the front, right? He gets that, or wherever that guard was, front or back, depending on the section of that door. Do you remember what he said to that security guard? Do you recall what he said to that security guard? He told that security guard to take the night off because he knew that everybody in there was gonna put that work. He was gonna put it on everybody. But for whatever reason, he didn't put in that security guard, right? Or that, whatever you want to call him. And I found that very interesting because whatever impact that security guard made in his life, it was enough to spare his life, right? Did you realize that? Because everybody got the work put on them. Everybody. But he told this one guy to take the night off. And I thought that was very interesting. So lesson number 3, just be careful how you deal with people in your life. Whether they're crossing through, passing through, whether it's a crossroad situation, always treat people like you want to be treated. That's pretty much how that goes. Because if you don't know how that's going to come back. Now, of course, this is an extreme case. We're talking about a movie. It's not real. Yes, I get that. So the balance, I totally understand the balance. But outside even the balance, even that alone, if you just treat people the way you want to be treated, you don't know what the dividends will pay forward for you because what could happen is they may be in a position to elevate your brand and the things that you're trying to do, and because you said something slick, right? Because you just decided to just go off on Twitter because that's what everybody does, right? Because you decide to do that, right? Because you decide to use your social media influence, however big it is, as a point of defamation or anything like that. That's what you decided to do. Now, the person is at a position where they can make some decisions in your life. Okay, in this case, either let him live or let him die. Okay, but he decided to let that guy live because that guard, whoever that guard was in his life when he was doing all these particular things, you know, around that time, that guard probably always showed him love and always showed him some level of respect. So he told the guy, you know what? Take the night off. Okay, so lesson number 1, don't mess with anybody's car, male or female, because females love cars too. Okay, lesson number 2, Don't mess with anybody's dogs, pets, or family members, period. Okay? And lesson number 3, just be careful how you treat people. Okay, so a couple of things I wanted to, just some trivia stuff. Okay, I may get this wrong, but if I don't, you should like this video anyway. Okay, so here it is. So there were some other cars in the movie. So if I get at least 2 or 3 of these cars, I got the first one already, which I mentioned was a 1969 Mach 1 Mustang. That was the first one. I think that was his car that he was driving, okay? So there's some other cars in the movie, and if I get this right, you should just like, you should just share, you should just do one of those 2 things, or both, okay? So another car that I did see in this particular movie, bear with me because I'm gonna think it out, was a 1970 454 Chevelle. Okay, let me know if I got that right. Okay, let me know if I got that right in the comments, all right, or however you want to do that. Just let me know. Okay, another car in the movie. Okay, this will be the 3rd one because I've given you 2 already. Another car in the movie is a 2011 Dodge Charger. You let me know if that's right. Okay, you let me know if that's right. And then another one. Okay, this is a stretch. I don't know. This is a stretch. I don't know. Okay, so the last but not least, and I'm done, is a 1968 Dodge Charger. So that's 4 cars, right? 4 cars. 1969 Mach 1 Mustang, 1970 454 Chevelle, okay? 2011 Dodge Charger, okay? And then 1968 Dodge Charger. Okay, so you got those cars. If I got any of them right, definitely like this video. And also, just recap the lessons. Don't mess with anybody's car. Don't mess with anybody's family or dog. And don't ever mess with anybody, because in the future, that person may have an opportunity for you to help elevate your brand, and you're gonna miss it because you said something twisted. But I know you're not gonna say anything twisted because you watched this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Peace.